another video on the UH ultra heat treated single cream, and we're going to have a go if we can turn it into yogurt. So I made some normal yogurt today with milk, and I've been left with some of the whey. So I strain the yogurt to make it a little bit thicker, and it collects the whey. You can just strain the whey out of it. So I always use that whey to make the next batch of yogurt. So since I've made my own yogurt for me today, we'll use this cream, see if we can make some yogurt out of cream, which I suppose would be a bit of a waste in ordinarily. You kind of wouldn't want to waste your cream making yogurt, but since we've got this cheap cream, we can make some yogurt out of it. So where's that? That's better. So bring it up to the boil so it kills any kind of bacteria, and then we want to cool it down to, or let it cool down to about 45 degrees, and then we'll add some of the whey, and then we'll pour it into a flask, and then keep the flask warm. It's not a particularly good flask actually, so we'll pour some of the whey into the cream, pour this into the flask, and then we'll wrap the flask in some towels, and we'll leave it for about 12 hours until hopefully some yogurt forms, and then it can become quite interesting. So we'll see if it works. I suppose I could just ask the internet, but this would be more fun, and also we'll kind of see if I ever buy any more of this ultra heat treated cream cheaply, we'll be able to make yogurt out of it, and it's just kind of out of pure self-interest as always. Right, so we're just about 45 degrees, so that can come out. Give it a quick wash, and we want a little bit of this whey in here. We don't need too much. It's got the bacteria that's going to start yogurt off, so that'll do. Don't need any more than that. Whisk around. Just about there. Good, it's the right lid. Lid on, right, and then I'm going to wrap it in some towels, and I'll put it on top of the radiator because it's just a little bit chilly tonight, so I've got the radiator on. So, and that'll keep it warm until tomorrow morning, when hopefully we'll have some yogurt. Let's have a look. So it might have worked, it might not have. Oh, that's worked. That's worked. So I always strain my yogurt. I like a thicker yogurt, so I always strain it through a cloth. It looks dirty. It's not. It's just stained because I always use it for all kinds of things. So it's certainly turned into yogurt. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, so it tastes creamier. I wouldn't say that it was a lot creamier than normal. No, it will be. So it works. So it's quite thick already, but let's. Have I got anything that will scrape it out? No. But we should be able to. This works for all yogurts, does this? So if you buy cheap thin yogurt, what you can do is you can put it in a cloth, and the whey will slowly start to leach out of it. So I don't want to make a mess. You just kind of see, like, already we've got a little bit of liquid in the bottom of there, so we're getting rid of liquid already. So that works. So that's another thing that if the cream, if I ever get that cream again, then it's on special offer. I'll be able to buy it, and I will be able to turn it into a really rich, luxurious yogurt, which then can be used for anything. Yeah, it's not cheaper than milk to buy it. Even though what was it? It was 3 litres for £1. No, it was cheaper. It was cheaper than buying actual milk, and the yield will be higher because of the fat content of the cream. So, but there we go. And then we can use that yogurt for anything we kind of want. We can add probably a little bit too rich to eat, but to turn it into desserts and things. I think that'd be kind of quite nice. So, kind of interesting. Does it have any uses, or is it just me having a bit of a faff around? Mostly just me having a bit of a faff around with something, but always kind of interesting to know, as in like having a little bit more like repertoire of knowledge about things and things we can do with things. So if you've got some cream and you're going to make some, if you're making yogurt and you've got some cream left over, and it's going to go out of date, you're not going to use it, you don't want to freeze it, you can certainly add it to the milk to make some yogurt. And there we go. So that's kind of quite interesting, isn't it? Yes, there we go. It works. If I ever get to buy some of that cream again, I'll know there is something else I can do with it, which is interesting in its own right. So the yogurt has been draining, and it's thickened up quite a bit. And there's quite a bit of whey that's come out of it. You'll be able to see there. So that's the wrong consistency. It's extremely rich and delicious, just like the wrong consistency. Want it more like that consistency, which is yogurt I made the other day, that we used the whey from that to make that yogurt. So you don't ordinarily, like people when they talk about making yogurt, they talk about saving some of the yogurt back to make the next batch of yogurt, which I kind of think is a bit of a waste. And if you just save the whey and freeze the whey after you've strained it a little bit, you can use that because it's got the bacteria in to make the yogurt. So you get to eat more yogurt and not waste the whey, and then you can use the whey for other things. But anyway, so what we need to do now is, that's a little bit too thick, so we will put it in a bowl and we'll mix back in some of the whey so it just gets a more edible texture. So although if you wanted to kind of use that as a ricotta substitute or a cream cheese substitute, that would be extremely nice. So kind of add a bit of salt to that, make it a bit savoury, and then that would almost be cream cheese. So maybe just a one beater. I don't want it to go everywhere. Put that on there, and then hopefully I won't make a mess. There we go, that's a better consistency for yogurt to eat. Yeah, it's nice and creamy, is that? There we go. So, maybe I've taken it a little bit too far. Maybe right, we'll mix that in with this. Maybe they're good. Yeah, but so that's what you do. It's very difficult to kind of judge how much whey to take out of it. But it's simple. What you do is you just simply let the whey drain out of it, and then add a bit more whey back into it, so you get the consistency you want. So there you go, nice creamy yogurt made from UHT Single Cream. A success. Oh yeah. So that whey in there has got all the bacteria from the yogurt. So that's what you would save and use in the next batch of to make the next batch of yogurt. So ordinarily you throw that away, save it, freezes really well, and then you've got that to make the next batch of yogurt. Or you can use it to, I've used it to make bread, or I've used it to make soda bread, and it was kind of quite nice if it was that way. But anyway, there you go. That was just the last bit of the video. I'm sure there's nothing else to add. But yeah, I'm going to throw that away because I've already frozen some of the whey, and I've got no other use for that, which I do hate throwing things away. But now and again you kind of have to, otherwise you just end up with a freezer full of and cupboards full of stuff that you're never going to use.